Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Manticore. My name is Philip. I am your keeper, which is the Call of Cthulhu term, though this is not a Cthulhu mythos game. We use the system. And just like how you should always spell whiskey, how it is spelled in the country of the spirit's origin, I believe we should honor Call of Cthulhu by referring to me, the game master of said game, as the keeper. I am joined by three of our wonderful players. Say, good evening, players.
Good evening, players.
Wow, that was not synchronized by you guys at all. How's everyone doing tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Ready to be scared.
Well, let's hope we can get some true frights. You may notice I'm going to be outright and forthwith in a certain way. We are sort of breaking the rule of this game in that you see there's a smaller group today. I was really, we were kind of doing this thing where I've kind of explained with some transparency how this game has people committing to a thing, but Jed could not make it tonight, and he will be here for the rest of this mission. So if you see me doing anything at this game where I'm like, but I think Dr. Day might join you, or perhaps Dr. Day is in the place you're like, if there's any of that stuff, just understand that artifice is there for a reason, which is
he had to take care of his urchins this evening.
Oh God, it is an orchid base. We'll do a solo orchid game with him. For our two players who are here, why don't you say, Pierce and Jeremy, you guys can say hello, because you're new to this game. You don't know about the urchins, which are the orphan urchins that Jed's character has been experimenting.
I've heard tell of these.
Yeah,
I have heard.
Sophia had some things to say about it. Hi, Sophia. Sophia is gonna finish building a dresser while listening to this. So
Godspeed.
There you go.
Orchids.
Yeah, if you had some orchins, it would already be built, and then they'd sleep in it. Problem solved. One per drawer. Good night, miss. No problem. At your service, miss. Thanks for our daily bread. We've had it. But not yet.
That's what they all sound like?
No.
Okay.
The ones she would employ sound like that. The ones in this game are for Boston, so they're like, no ma. No
Big
ma.
Papi.
Johnny Damon. Bubla.
Are the orchins also like 40-year-old Italian men, or?
Some of them are Italian, some of them are like Irish, though. A couple of them,
just,
some people speak like this, but they're of like Lithuanians. So you got to be so judgmental. Don't be bigoted, right? Don't make a bigoted remark on this stream.
It's the 1880s.
Go Pats! I know it's the 1880s. We don't even have a team yet, but still go Pats. Go Celtics.
You do have the Red Sox, though.
Oh, we looked it up. I don't think we have the Red Sox yet. They weren't quite there.
Oh, but there is a Boston baseball team.
I think they might have been the Boston Bean Makers.
It was the precursor to it's the precursor to the Red Sox. Well,
what was Boston's baseball team in 1885? The Boston Bean Eaters. I was close. It wasn't Bean Makers, it was Bean Eaters. They were Bean Eaters on account of Boston beans. Then they became the Boston Braves, which became the Atlanta Braves, which is still the team.
Is it?
I believe
They're
so.
still Atlanta, and they haven't changed that name yet.
I believe the Braves is still the name.
Still using that red tomahawk as a logo.
I believe so, which is surprising. I mean, I would argue that of all of the teams named for like some sort of indigenous thing, it's the least objectionable, I guess, on some level. But still.
They didn't just use a Native American's face.
Yeah.
Or use a racial slur.
It's a low bar, but it's cleared.
But is it not objectionable at all? You know what? What's fun? What's cool for me in this situation?
It's
I'm not the person who has to decide that.
Yeah, I would say like the fact that the tomahawk is red is a problem. That's what like really tips it into like this is definitely a problem.
I don't think you should see you saying that could be like I don't ever even make I never make an observation like that. Here in Boston, we have no history of racism whatsoever. We never do that.
Sure, that was my experience living in Boston.
Yep, that's certainly what I saw. Anyway, enough about the things I saw in Boston. Let's talk about the things we're all about to see in Boston. A Boston of nearly 140 years ago exactly, or 141 years ago now at this point. Wow. Dang. Why didn't I set this in we could have set this in Boston 1876 and it could have been the centennial of America, and also it could have been like 150 years from now. That would have been fun. Missed opportune.
Well,
next time.
Next game.
Do you want to make this one a prequel?
I don't, because if Schuby dies, it will be very complicated for the game we've been doing.
I don't know.
We'd have to do some real Fast and the Furious contortions.
Weird just died, but then was shunted out of the cosmic horror dimension.
Yeah, I mean, what's been fun about this game so far, to you who haven't played it, is our first one was like very kind of like grounded and more upsetting than some of them were. And the second one was just kind of a goof around, kind of a little mess around. Sadly for you, this is going to be more like the first, just spoiler alert. So I will mention that I said this at the beginning of our first round. Death in this game is a little more intense than in other games in the following way. It's like perma thing. If you die in one of these sessions, your services are not needed for the remainder of the mission.
Oh.
So in other words, if you die, you don't if you die tonight, you're out. Congratulations, your Fridays are free the next 2 weeks. And I feel like this will go to Pierce most of all, given his general martyr complex or need to whatever. But like Pierce, doing so means the party is now down a person. Now Jed is out tonight, but because it was a thing I knew when I was preparing for it, I'm calibrating this for there only being 3 of you.
Look,
after this, if there's only 3, but it's calibrated for 4, if you lead to everyone dying because you decided to get reckless and have fun. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I don't make those are not planned decisions. Just so we're clear.
I'm just saying
there's a sword there, and I have to follow.
When you're getting to that point where you're really gonna wanna sacrifice yourself needlessly. Everyone's safe, but you still need to sacrifice yourself. In that, remember when we played Frostmaiden and that's what you did? I just remember that. I think about that a lot sometimes. Anyway, the point is, death is death is also not assured in this game. But if you're ever if there's a thing that seems dangerous, it's probably going to be dangerous. You might not want to do it. In addition to that, I will add, for the benefit of kind of also people watching at home, for the benefit of our 2 new players, there's a mechanic in this that maybe we were using in some of the D100 games when you were being our wonderful footman way back when in Blood from a Stone, Jeremy. But I don't know how much we were really sort of leaning into the push mechanic of the Call of Cthulhu system. So just so you guys know, there's no spending power to re-roll a roll that didn't go well for you the way I often throw you in some of the games. What there is is whenever you fail a roll, you're allowed to attempt it again in what is called a push. You technically can't do this if it's an opposed roll, so like you really can't do it as much in combat. Unless I'm having you roll combat as a general thing about stuff, and then I'm like, go ahead and push it, your funeral. The way it works is, if you failed, you can try again. But if you fail again, it is the equivalent of a fumble. It is like a second failure turns into a very bad result, and you cannot spend luck or do anything to reroll at that point. You can't adjust things then. So I will say the players in this game, despite knowing how dangerous it is, they push so much. And sometimes they push when it makes no mathematical sense. Like they have like a 40 in something and they try it and fail, and then they're like, I'm gonna push it. And I'm like, damn. So we've had some disastrous pushes. Had some disastrous social encounters ended awkwardly. Painting defaced by a finger of someone trying to science-splain something to a painter. We had a boat crash because of a pushed luck roll. That was a personal good feeling for me. We had all of Dan's precious vials of cure-alls and elixirs fall into the water off a rocky island off the coast of Maine because Zane should have caught it, didn't catch it, said I'll push it, didn't catch it again. Oh, what a beautiful day for me. So yeah, just mentioning that to you guys. Go ahead and push, but just be aware the result is bad. You both, however, are familiar with the luck system, which is where you can always spend your luck, permanently losing some to sort of luck into a situation if you have luck that would turn a failure into a success. So also make sure, little friendly reminder, make sure to click the boxes when you succeed so you can roll to improve at the end of the session. But I think with that, I'm going to give maybe a little bit less of a more general recap of what has come before, because 2/3 of our players tonight have not ever would not have full knowledge. So maybe I'll just give you guys the big picture notes of the rumors you've heard around the New England Society of the Paranormal here in Beacon Hill in Boston, Massachusetts. Mr. John Jansen, who, as Lauren has made sure we are aware since she's dutifully taking notes, is tall and buff. He is sort of the head of this organization, and he has grown interested in a new subject. Probably two gentlemen who are being invited to maybe participate in looking into this would have heard rumblings that it is all related to a language, a magical, perhaps even inhuman language called Manticore. The exact origins of this language, you do not know. You don't even know why he knows any words in it, but you do know that John Jansen has often spoken of, sort of the inherent power in words, that sort of stuff. So it seems this is maybe an area of mystic study that he is intrigued by, and he is beginning to devote some of the group's resources into looking into. Neville Baskerville, I'm sure that you can't imagine certain words having any magical significance at all. That would be entirely anathema to your way of thinking the things you've studied. So, Mr. John Jansen sent a group from this organization to Salt Rock Island off the coast of Maine to encounter the Hayhues, where there was a rumor that there was a lamb born with the head of a human baby. The group came back from this rather shaken, and you probably heard, though neither of you would have seen, that a specimen was actually brought back here, apparently matching that description. Whether it was an actual chimerical creature or some sort of lamb with a strange, birth defect or mutation, you are not certain, but you have heard that they came back, and all the members who went on that trip were seemingly pretty shaken up by it. And it wasn't just because their boat literally crashed at one point on the way there. After this, you know that another group was sort of dispatched to find out information about a painting by a noted Boston painter named Crane, Crain, who was he would often paint sort of macabre things. Also drew a lot of inspiration from various mythologies. He had a painting that Mr. Jansen wanted to know more about, and though some individuals found out about it, they then wound up going to the Black Diamond Building, often known as the Second Bank of Boston Tower, a building that was rumored to have a great deal of occult significance in its structure. That building has subsequently been analyzed by a member of the organization who, her father was a noted architect, and she has sort of claimed that there is no actual occult significance in the structure. That has probably kind of that's the new thing that one of Jansen's little teens have learned. But what they were doing in that building and why they cared about that painting and all these sorts of questions is probably something that are rumors and conjectures sweeping through this organization. This fairly this is by no means the most exclusive or, kind of blue-blooded society in Boston, but it is generally filled with sort of affluent, influential people, those who are intrigued by the prospects of the occult, the paranormal, spiritualism was the term people were mainly using at this time. But that's not to say everyone in it is a high-class person, and in fact, tonight's game might be bringing together some of the other types who are in this organization, which we'll get to in a moment. But obviously, that's a very kind of contracted thing. Is there any key details you think I need to mention, Schuby? Since Dr. Day's not here, we don't need to talk about origins, but any other. Okay. Well, then, with that, we will once again begin in sort of the back room, the private room, kind of on one of the upper levels of this auspicious club. Mr. John Jansen has, of course, invited Miss Antoinette Mills, a woman who is new to Boston society, but who seems to have his favor and has made a very good impression on everyone she's met so far. He has also invited Neville Baskerville and William Chips. If you gentlemen would like to describe yourselves, you can even say what it is you do, or you can, you can just let that come out in the playing of the game. Yeah, please give us you may give us an introduction of what Antoinette Mills sees upon your entrance and sitting down in one of these high-backed chairs. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Well,
you can start.
All right. Well, of course, my reputation would precede me, but just in case you've been living under a rock, my name is Neville Baskerville, and I am a famous magician, known around the world, well, the civilized world at least, for his magnificent sleight of hand and incredible disappearing acts. I've traveled far and wide to extend my understanding of magic and sorcery, as the layman might say. And as looking at him, you see a tall, very lanky British man with well-kept hair and a beard, and just a really unfriendly air about him.
Wow. So instead of tall and buff, he's tall and lanky with an unfriendly air. And unkempt hair. That rhymed.
He perhaps has a sleeper bill, but he would not like to say that. He would never profess such a thing himself.
As for Mr. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm William Chips from Manhattan. If you can bet on it, I've won at it. Cards, dice, horses. I'm a gambler by trade. I travel around. I'm 45 years old. And it's a hard 1880s 45. It's 2026, 112. I've got sort of a longish, dark hair, and a mustache, both of which are matted down with pomade. Unclear the last time they were washed. Sort of a relatively fashionable vest and shirt, though they're stained. They've seen better days. It might be the only one I own. But I've always been touched by luck. I've gone this far in life based solely on luck. I felt myself get touched by it when I was a child in the gutter, and I've rose out from there. And now I'm sort of curious as to where that came from. Because I've always felt someone watching over me. And I thought this place might let me find it. I should also note that I'm about missing this ring finger down to about the second knuckle.
Ah.
And he's maybe sort of the opposite of Mr. Baskerville over here. A little bit stockier, broad-shouldered, little barrel-chested. Probably somewhere in sort of the average height, probably sort of in the 5'5" range.
It wasn't quite that. It was not quite that extreme back then.
5'6"?
Maybe 5'8", 5'9" would be the,
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
No, the drift was not that extreme. Well.
Yeah.
So there is
That's
this sort
me.
of this very sort of fancy man, gambling man, fancy lady, Mr. John Jansen, tall and buff, enters the room. Glancing at everyone here, he sort of gives a gentlemen, it's good to have you both here tonight. Hello, Miss Mills. I was hoping that Dr. Day could join us tonight, but he's indisposed, and well, quite frankly, some of he may be distracted with other matters for a time. Thank you for coming in, gentlemen. I don't know what you've heard about some of these sort of projects that I've been looking into, but I feel there is a situation that might benefit from your specific areas of expertise and just as importantly, perhaps, sort of circles that you might run in, if you understand. Miss Mills, I wanted to get your input on this, but I don't necessarily wish to send you to this place because it might not be particularly safe for a couple of reasons. Gentlemen, are you willing to go to a place that might be a bit less secure than, you know, a nice club such as this?
Spent most of my life in places much less secure than this.
I've been known to slum it on occasion.
Well, all right. Then, in that case,
So yes, if that wasn't clear, that was a yes.
There appears to be. This is perhaps the most credible report of this I've ever seen. There appears to be a haunting.
A haunting?
A haunting, that's correct.
What?
There is an abandoned army base. Currently, I would not say in the legal possession, but currently inhabited by a group, some might call them a cartel. Some gentlemen who are acting extra legally, tolerated by the local officials because, well, one, they're sort of in an area, you know, without formal jurisdiction over it. They also have probably paid off various people who would otherwise maybe look into curtailing their activities. But this sort of group, this to call them a gang, I think, sounds understating their organization and sophistication. They have taken over an old army base. It's been abandoned since the end of the war. He is, at this point, referring to the Civil War, which, you know, that's only 20 years ago, but certainly, fresh in the mind, but it dated. It was during the Revolution. This base was in operation. It fell into sort of there was an accident, a training accident, an explosion towards the end of the war. The base was not deemed worth repairing. This organization has now moved in. They've been using it for maybe the past 10 years. Hard to know exactly. I think smugglers would often use it as well. It's well positioned for such a thing. However, there have been reports of apparitions. Reports from hardened men who, criminals are superstitious, obviously, but the reports of what they're witnessing strikes me as a more credible description than we often hear in a circumstance like this. But the reason that I'm most intrigued is it's what some of the people have said they think the ghost is saying. Last time I gave, when you went to Maine, Miss Mills, I gave you a word, if you recall, in a language. This time I would like to perhaps not give you the word ahead of time. I would like for you to see if you hear it, and kind of, I don't want to sort of lead anything, you know what I'm saying, if you understand. I would rather, have this be a bit more scientific. One of these apparitions that is seen, people say seems to appear like many different animals, all jumbled together, and it's screaming these horrible words. And what rough reports of what I've heard suggest to me that it is the language that I am currently most intrigued by. I have no expectation that this gang will mean to cause anyone any harm if they go there, but at the same time, I must point out these are, criminals. And I would not say I've been invited, but when I offered that I would sort of come without judgment and look into this place, something our organization would. I, of course, cannot actually venture there, which is a point of frustration for me. But I would like you to, Mr. Chips, Mr. Baskerville, and Miss Mills, I'd like your input, but I don't think you should go to this place. I'd like you to go there and see if you can witness one of these apparitions and maybe record what it seems like they are saying.
May I ask a few questions?
Of course.
So it's an apparition that we're seeing. It's not a poltergeist or anything along that. It's just sort of a vision and sound sort of thing.
My understanding is that it has had an effect on people who have witnessed it. A sort of unsettling, maddening. There's also been some illness in response. Vomiting, sweats, fainting. Periods of sort of uttering indecipherable, sort of breaking.
And what might I ask about the three of us and our respective expertise?
Well,
makes you think we are the right ones for this job.
Well, you and Mr. Baskerville, Mr. Chips, you two are both, sort of, shall we say, I think as you sort of alluded to it yourself, you've maybe experienced, life on the road. You've played cards or played stages in less reputable venues than many of the members of this organization have ever set foot in. Largely, I would expect that you two can interact with the kind of people I'm describing from a gang like this without... at some point, there may be the need for Dr. Day to join you and take, get physical evidence, but his demeanor is not exactly one that I think would mix well with this clientele.
To that end, I was wondering, you say they're not a gang, they're more of a cartel, so they're not stabbing each other in the streets. What are the rackets they're running? Are they gambling? Is it drugs?
I think
women.
It is a lot of things. It is a lot of they are bringing a lot of material into the United States without sort of paying the proper duties, and some of the things they're bringing are things that are not permitted here. Yes, there are some sort of, substances, although I don't know that in this time a lot of those substances are just kind of like, yeah, whatever you want. But there is a sort of sense of, yes, they're bringing in they're bringing things in without the proper sort of duties, and also a lot of stolen goods from Europe, a lot of art that has not been properly vetted, and the rightful owners aren't getting their cut, this sort of thing. They do also engage in some, I think they maybe oversee more rough groups that maybe engage in some racketeering, potentially some enforcement. I believe they are connected to some criminal organizations that are a little more violent, but the people at this place, that is not quite their reputation. It's what they sort of call their fort. Their fort.
I've dealt with such types before. It's not too difficult. So you want us to go there and record the phenomena that are occurring?
Just, yes, go see what you witness, see what you can,
And they're expecting us, right? You said that we don't have to come up with a reason why.
No, they're expecting representatives from our organization. That's the idea. I would go myself, but I cannot risk being discovered in a place like that, unfortunately.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
I think Antoinette is muted. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? Why can't you be discovered in a place like where Mr. Baskerville and I will be discovered?
Well, because I don't have your pasts. I'm a much more respectable individual. He says that with total, not even are you drunk? What are you talking about? Obviously. Also, is everyone are all of the players a little soft? I'm asking chat.
Am I still muted?
You are not muted. I can hear you now.
Sorry.
I might actually take an unusual thing. I'm gonna mute them all for 1 second. All right. Can you guys talk again?
Yeah, this is my thing.
All right. I think here we go. We'll the music was, I was wondering at that, Sophia, because the music's loud. I think it's that they were all so quiet that the music that I have on the lowest possible volume was still louder than them. I think maybe this will be, I just adjusted it, so hopefully we'll be able to hear them a little better. Okay, but anyway, yes, so I'm sorry, what were you saying, Miss Mills?
John, has the group given us any assurances of our safety, since they are expecting us and all?
In one of my sort of, my communications with them, I sort of suggested there were concerns about, I said my people obviously will be the foremost, experts on this subject, but I'd be worried, and they said, provided that no one interferes with their operations, they said no one would have any reason to be concerned. At the same time, I'm not going to send anyone who I think could cause trouble unless it seemed. Dr. Day has been instrumental in gathering and analyzing physical evidence in some of these matters, but if you're able to get some of this information without actually having him go on site, that might be preferable. how well, he kind of looks at Chips and Baskerville. Do you know, you don't really, you've never met Dr. Day, right?
No, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Well, I hope you find
Never
it
had the pleasure.
He's a very intelligent, very resourceful man, but he occasionally, he is very dismissive of the supernatural. He believes it is all science we don't understand, and as such, occasionally he puts people sort of in the wrong mood. He's also very dismissive just of women and their accomplishments, but that's, you know.
We had society to join.
Yeah. So, how do you gentlemen feel about undertaking this task?
It sounds fascinating to me. An apparition causing disarray amongst the cartels?
Amongst some men who typically are not, you know, prone to being unnerved.
Yes, well.
At the very least, sounds like I can get a card game going.
Well, I would urge you, if you play cards with these people, I would urge you to lose.
Well, fortune leads me where it leads me.
Oh dear.
She's never steered me wrong.
Yes. Well, all right. So I can give you some more details if you want. And he kind of, you know, is looking at Miss Mills like he really does want your input in this, but he has not made any reference to the idea that you'd be going to this place. But he'll say, so the organization that is based out of this, I'm not sure if you gentlemen have heard of it. It is called the Full Moon Society. You heard of them?
Have I heard of it?
Is there any
Both of you actually could roll to maybe do this. It is so funny when I ask people questions. I'm like, the players have no idea. What am I doing? This would actually be for both of you a straight education roll. This would have to do with what you've heard on the streets. And Antoinette Mills, you could roll on it as well.
I was going to say, would Miss Mills know anyone from this organization because she is familiar with some of the seedy underbelly?
Yeah.
What am I rolling? Education as well?
Education.
It's at 21 under 70.
21. All right, very good.
So, hard success?
Hard success. Mr. Chips.
92 from 80.
You want to push it?
No, I'm all right.
Okay. You simply haven't heard of them. Miss Mills?
Hard success, 33.
Hard success. Yes, you both are familiar. Nobody really calls them the Full Moon Society. They call them sort of, you know, like just like the Full Moon Gang, or some people even just refer to as like the Moon Gang. They are actually referred to with a hard success. You would also both know, like, realistically, no one is calling them the Full Moon Society. That is probably like some legitimate business was put on that as like a thing. They're typically referred to as the werewolves. You have no expectation that they are werewolves, but that they are, that's kind of just like the term for them. You know, that's kind of they're known to be that sort of transformatively violent is the idea. I would say actually with a hard success, Neville and Antoinette, you guys could even like exchange like a knowing look as you see Chips kind of not registering it. The one thing you don't necessarily love the sound of, or the stuff he was sort of suggesting, like, well, these guys, they run some stuff, but like they're not violent. This is a very violent, very, you know, notorious organization. It is sort of like an over gang, so that part is true. They kind of, you know, they work, other crews sort of run stuff for them. But your understanding is you more know this Full Moon Society as being the werewolves who, you know, carry out various murders. You know.
So you're sending us into the werewolves, den, are you?
Werewolves.
Werewolves?
It's a colloquial term, I suppose.
For this group, or just for other criminals?
For this group in particular.
They're
You know, as a call, as a result of their extreme and excruciating violence.
So wait, you're telling me that we're dealing with some ghosts that are freaking out some lycanthropes? Is that what's going on here?
Metaphorical, not literal.
Not literal werewolves.
Actually,
No.
Mr. Chips, roll another education.
13.
You have heard of the werewolves. With a 13 extreme success, it's shocking you didn't know what their official name is, the Full Moon
Oh,
Society.
the Full Moon Society. Didn't hear you right the first time. Right. Tough customers.
They are. So, gentlemen, if you're sort of thinking that you should not be going to this place, then by all means.
Well, I said they were tough. I didn't say I was scared.
I've never been one to back down from a challenge.
All right then.
It's just the two of us, right?
Yes.
Miss Mills would like to join. I would like to join. John, these gentlemen can keep me safe, and there's much about my past you don't know. There may be someone I know at this group that I could find a way in with.
Chips and Baskerville, go ahead and give me a psychology roll. Chips and Baskerville are kind of, for good or ill, you guys do have some key purples in common. But I think you both have some sleight of hand and some psychology, and some sort of that kind of stuff. So could you both give me a psychology roll? Because Mr. Jansen is making quite a reaction to what she's sort of saying here.
How bad could it be for me to push this roll?
It can be bad. What I've been doing is forcing people to draw very wrong conclusions, and it can cause trouble. So
awesome. I'm gonna push this roll. So I got a 63 over 54.
okay, so just so you know, you have almost no luck. Yeah, all right, push the roll.
Yeah. I do not have any. Okay. That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, a good push. Mr. Chips,
That's an extreme success.
it is extreme for you.
Oh, you want me to roll as well?
You don't have to. Basically like the reason I'm soliciting the roll is that Mr. Jansen just really had a reaction to what Ms. Mills just said that I think unless you would like to, unless you're an incurious character, which is great and fine, or you're drinking at the time and missed it, you would not have missed.
No, I definitely
face
be
the man pulled.
reading people. Sorry, which am I rolling?
Psychology, which is a good one for you.
It is. 46, so just regular success.
All right. Both of you have a sense that he feels like Miss Mills is sort of, revealing too much, like, in your presence. I would say, Mr. Baskerville, given your extreme success, I think you were kind of intuiting that Miss Mills must have a criminal past. If not, technically, she is a criminal of some kind. And he is shocked that she is making such a clear allusion to this in front of two people, and referring to how she might know someone at this place. That Mr. Baskerville can probably draw some conclusions about, what kind of work or connections Miss Mills may have in saying this, but you definitely have a clear sense that Mr. Jansen was not expecting her to say that and wishes she hadn't, and he seems now just like nervous in lots of different vectors.
Keep that to myself.
I mean, if the lady wants to come, free country.
You were just disparaging these people for not respecting the wills and accomplishments of women. Would you repeat that folly?
I was disparaging Dr. Day, and it's just.
No, yes, of course.
That's just how he.
The doctor.
That's just it's. Miss Mills, I will let you put this. Because they sort of stuck up for you and kind of disarmed him a bit from that. I'm gonna let you use one of your greatest skills here. Go ahead and try a charm. You're muted again. What happened?
Oh no, I'm just quiet.
you're
One of my greatest assets.
One of your greatest assets.
That would be a 97.
Are you going to push it? Are you going to actively push it?
Yeah, I'm going to push it.
She has an 80 in this.
Piece of cake. Beautiful, 52.
52. With a 52, you probably like as these guys are saying some stuff, maybe some of the things you already said, where you're like, I'm sure these gentlemen can, maybe when you say these gentlemen can keep me safe, there's like a flash of jealousy on his face, you know? Like, but you smooth it over. You appeal to his ego, you know? You probably throw in, you flutter some eyelashes and, you know, say like, just like, I've got to do this so I can get back and, you know, I can be back here with you sooner or whatever, etc., etc.
Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back by dinner, John.
Oh, well, it's a little further than that, but, well.
We'll take good care of it, don't we?
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
He kind of gives a...
Just gonna find a ghost, right? A ghost that's freaking out a bunch of gangsters.
Yes, very well. All right. I will... of course, Miss Mills, you're a member of this organization. You're allowed to do as you wish. All right. All right. He kind of accepts this and says, well, let's talk about exactly where you're going, how you're getting there. He begins to sort of sketch out to you this fort, again, from the Revolutionary War era fort. At the time, it was known as Fort Buchanan. The name changed in the, God, would it have been like maybe like circa like War of 1812. They rechristened it. Fort Liberty. So it was Fort Buchanan. Now it's
very American of them.
Very, you know, kind of trying to be that. And then probably 20 or 30 years after that, like pre-Civil War, they then renamed it again and called it Fort Hamilton after, you know, that guy.
Me. My name's Chips.
Not that guy. That guy. That's the thing. Hey, I'm the thing.
Yeah. It's still called Hamilton?
It is still referred to as Fort Hamilton.
Is it a famous fort, or is it just sort of another fort that was there? Like,
it is not a particularly notable fort. No major battles were fought at it. It's kind of like it's
not
in,
like a Fort Sumter level.
Not a Fort Sumter level by any means. It is on kind of like a little inlet, you know, in like northern Massachusetts coast, like almost like very close to like the New Hampshire border, and it's kind of like in a little, you know, cut in thing. So it's kind of, you know, it's a great spot to like smuggle stuff in the dead of night if you know how to navigate the rocks. But it is technically in Massachusetts, not in New Hampshire. I don't know if that's going to become really important at some point, but you know.
I refuse to step foot in New Hampshire.
There you go. I will swim around New Hampshire and or walk around New Hampshire. It has been unused for 20 years. There was I know he said a lot of this, but we'll just sort of recap. There was an explosion, basically, like several barrels of gunpowder exploded. They thought they were like under attack by some very lost like southern, you know, like rebel army men or something. They were like it was like in the last days of the Civil War, basically. Like there was a massive explosion, unexplained how that happened even to this day. But it damaged one of the walls pretty considerably, one of like the impressive fortifications, and the army just, you know, with everything going on, did not see fit to, you know, rebuild this kind of 50 or 60-year-old structure. So it is kind of just laid there dormant. He'll give you like the rundown of like various people would go there for a while, but eventually the werewolves were kind of using this as like a sort of like very off the grid storage thing. They have paid Massachusetts state police and stuff to just not care about it, basically, kind of just like, let us have this, don't worry about it. And at this point it's not really close to anything, it's not close to any major cities or areas. But about 2 months ago, the werewolves started seeing something. He doesn't have many details on these apparitions other than that they say there are more than one. They don't happen at the same time every night, but they only happen at night. And they have been very upsetting. Some of them are animalistic. Some of them seem more human, but they people who have just like fully seen one seem extremely unsettled by what they've witnessed.
Now I'm even more curious.
Though, something about gangsters a lot of times, they're grounded people. They see something they don't understand, so it spooks them. So, may not be the most frightening apparition you've ever seen, is all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I've never seen an apparition. As you know.
Well, you haven't?
Of course not. If I had, I would have
you
written on it extensively.
You just always stay here?
No, I often go out and visit haunted sites. I've just never been fortunate enough to witness one, and most of the ones I've read about are unfortunately hoaxes or, delusional.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I'd quite like to witness the real thing myself.
You understand, yes. We're looking for. I mean, what you do, Mr. Baskerville, is impressive, but I've seen a lot of tricks.
Thank you.
I'm now seeking the real thing, much the way you are.
Yes.
Yes. So, we'll get a carriage for you, take you up there.
Forthwith? Of course. Let's waste no time.
I would. I've been told you can stay there, and they would expect you to sort of stay overnight to really witness what's happening. So you may wish to, if you can, sleep in the afternoon and then sort of venture there as, in the later afternoon. You could do that, or you can simply go now if you think you can make it through the night.
How long is the journey to where we're going?
By carriage, it'll be a few hours.
And what time is it?
That's also true. We'll say this is a rare afternoon meeting. It's pretty empty. Typically, this club, the New England Society of the Paranormal, is only happening at
witching hour.
After dinner, where people come and have a late dinner.
Gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'd like to get going. We can sleep on the carriage and arrive in time to see what there is to see.
I think we are of one mind on this, Miss Mills.
Yeah, I'll concur with that. Away we go, I guess.
Away we go, indeed.
Very well. Then in that case, yeah, you guys can get into the carriage and begin riding. Would anyone like to canonically spend this entire carriage ride talking about what you're going to do with orchins?
No, I don't think it would cross my mind.
I don't really have a plan to own an orchard, but now that you mention it,
Orchid.
I think an apple.
Orchin.
What's an orchid?
Orphan urchin.
Right.
Why would I?
Would that conversation come up amongst the three of us?
All we're saying is that one of my favorite moments in the history of this game, or and maybe not. I mean, we've played a lot of games. It certainly is a highlight, even of all the games we've played. Was the speed and furiousness with which, because Jed's been doing all this stuff with these orchins on the side, and at some point Liv said to him, Liv's character, Dr. Wilkins, said to Dr. Day, because he was kind of going mad since he pushed and failed a roll. It was beautiful. Or maybe he just fumbled. I can't remember. Anyway, she was like, I think you just have a guilty conscience because of what you're doing to all these urchins. And Jed goes, wait. You don't know that. I haven't talked to you about that. At which point, all of the players and me were shouting back, that's all you talked about in the carriage. All you did in the carriage ride to Brookline was explain how you're experimenting on urchins. And it was really good. It made me very happy. I don't know why it hit so hard, but it really did. So, urchin talk?
No, Miss Mills won't bring up the urchins. However, before we nap on our journey, she will say, gentlemen, I would like to caution you, if Dr. Day does join us, he recently was prone to some bits of mania. I don't think that would go over very well with this group of individuals, especially not the way that John described them to us. So please try to keep him calm. He is delicate.
I will keep this in mind, though I have not been known to have a soothing personality, Miss.
Oh, I think you're doing quite fine, Mr. Baskerville, as are you, Mr. Chips.
Well, thank you. Although I was just about to suggest, have you just tried giving him a good slap across the face?
Oh, how we would like to.
Cold.
I'm getting a very interesting picture of this doctor.
Sounds
I
like
cannot
most
wait
doctors
to
I've
see
met.
him in person and match the picture to the man.
All right. In that case...
Or perhaps I could wait a bit.
All right, in that case, you guys sleep on your way there. I assume it's some real, like Miss Mill goes, and Baskerville goes, shh, and Chips goes, and it, kind of does
in unison. Yes.
The Huey, Dewey, and Louie style.
Yes.
Or Three Stooges.
Quite.
Pick your comedic trio. But eventually, after dark has fallen, the carriage kind of jostles to a hard stop. If you sort of stir a bit and you hear some voices talking, you see that outside, though there's a little path kind of going off the road, there is a lantern at this path, and there's a sort of a couple of guys are sort of sitting there. They're chatting with your driver, and it seems a little tense, but not concerning. The door is then opened for you, and the sort of driver's informing you that he's not supposed to go any further, but you can get out here, and this is how you get down to the fort.
As we arrive, I would turn to Ms. Mills. Ms. Mills, as it seems you are a bit more familiar than the two of we with this sort of crowd, would you like to take the lead as we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, of course. I find this group tends to warm up to me easily.
Good. I'd hope so.
I would just sort of... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I was going to say, Philip, you said they opened the door for us already?
The driver has opened it and said, I'm not supposed to go further, but here's these people, yeah, etc. He'll help you out, and the dudes can just jump out. That's how this guy rolls. The man sort of... There's two guys kind of here. One is sort of still sitting. He's a little bit older, maybe probably maybe Mr. Chip's age or a bit older than that. He's wearing a top hat, Artful Dodger, a big velvety top hat. Otherwise, just kind of in a coat, kind of warming his hands, just sort of glaring out. He looks like a pretty kind of tough customer, a wiry geezer type. But the guy who's sort of stepping forward, despite it being night and a bit chilly, is just his bald head is just out, kind of glistening in the his totally shaved head, glistening in the lamplight. He has a giant red mustache. Unlike Mr. Chip's mustache, it is not pomaded. It is like a bristle brush. He is he's a pretty sort of intense looking dude, kind of a necklace. Sort of as he's kind of staring at you guys, kind of cocking an eyebrow at you as you're sort of, stepping out of the carriage. He looks at Miss Mills, and then kind of, you see him do a double take at the décolletage, perhaps, but, I guess they don't know. They don't know about what your size score means, but they can now guess based on that. But in any case, he kind of looks over the other two guys. Kind of a little. Yes, Mr. Chips.
As we're stepping out, because you'd mentioned that it was tense, I was just wondering if I could determine whether or not that tension was like just territorial, on edge, fear.
Let's see.
So get a sense of what I'm stepping into here.
I don't know exactly what we'd roll for that.
Is this another psychology roll?
I guess so. Sure. I mean, it's always so boring, but yeah, I guess that's a logical one. I'll tell you what. You can do a psych. Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, do a psychology, I guess.
Okay. 94.
You can't tell. Maybe it's not even tense. You're probably.
I haven't
wrong.
quite woken up yet.
So yeah, as you guys sort of get out, this guy's looking at you.
Miss Mills will step forward. Gentlemen, and she says with great confidence, we were sent by the New England Society of the Paranormal. John Jansen said you would be expecting us. I am his liaison. My name is Antoinette Mills. She extends her hand.
The guy with the bristly red mustache kind of like looks it up and down and sort of kind of takes it and yeah, exactly, sort of yeah, whatever, but shakes your hand for a moment and says, I knew someone was coming. I just didn't really expect the likes any of you really. You don't look like professors or academics or whatnot.
The pleasure is all ours, of course.
We're a very progressive society, sir. These are my colleagues. She'll let you introduce yourself.
Neville Baskerville at your service.
Oh, you English?
Pleasure to meet you, my good lad.
You English?
I've been known to be, yes.
I fucking hate the English.
Well, you wouldn't be
Not
alone.
all.
Sorry, Mr. William Chips. I have no love for the Irish, so I guess that puts us all on equal foot.
It doesn't put you on equal footing if you don't love the Irish.
Have you met you?
Have I met me? What the fuck's wrong with him?
Look, we arrive. You comment on how we don't look like we should be here. You attack my associate for being English. If you're
Oh
gonna
no, it's
toss
quite
it
alright. I'm
out-
quite used to it.
Oh,
We've stirred up some ruckus across the world, for sure.
If you're gonna throw the opening salvo, get ready for the counterattack. That's all I'm saying.
He kind of turns back to the old guy with the hat, and he's like, I didn't hit anyone yet. Well, bloody well will.
Sir, as an American, I have my issue with the British as well. I didn't catch your name.
I'm Tom.
Well, Tom, my colleagues, brash they may be, we just woke up from a long journey. We tried to get rest on the way here. We just got off on the wrong foot. I assure you, we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is not to offend you.
Go ahead and do a charm on that, I suppose. Unless you'd rather do something else, but I think that is charm.
I think it's charm. She's a
Yes,
charm
a
lady.
stat I have that I don't know what it is.
That's an 80 exactly, so I'm gonna leave it.
You're charming enough that he's not going to punch Mr. Chips, but he's not like the night's young. Yes, Mr. Chips?
What is fast talk for?
Fast talk is the closest thing there is to like deception. Fast talk is basically persuasion when it doesn't really carry water. Like if persuasion is you're kind of like, this is why you should do X, Y, or Z. Intimidation is do X, Y, or Z, or I'll hurt you, or something bad will happen.
Right.
If charm is do X, Y, or Z, because come on, you can.
So, okay. Then seeing Ms. Mills is taking the lead, I said, I apologize. I'm used to dealing with rougher elements, and normally when someone comes at you with an insult, you're supposed to come back. It shows you kind of not one to be shoved around, you know? I apologize. Sort of an instinctual reaction.
And I'm British, so you know how it is.
The guy behind him says, Just take him in, Tom. I don't... Fine. The guy just kind of glares at him. He's like, fine, what with me? There's, He looks at Miss Mills and says, are you going to be alright to walk in rough with your skirts and everything?
I'll manage, sir, but if you'd like to be a gentleman, you're welcome to hold my bag.
Your bag. Right. Hey, come on then. He'll start guiding you guys. Tom will, he'll start guiding you down, but he's definitely kind of on a bit of edge. The older guy's like, Tom, are you gonna take the lantern? He's like, no, we'll moon's bright enough, ain't it? Ow. And he'll sort of start guiding you guys down. Go ahead and, hey, do any of you probably don't, does anybody have natural world or navigate with any points put in?
10 in both of them.
No.
Then, okay, this isn't really hidden, but if anyone would like to make I think all three of you have purple and spot hidden. Let's all do a spot hidden just for friendship. This is just, sometimes I'm just trying to give you guys a chance to click some boxes, baby.
Nope. Nada.
Nada.
5.
63, so normal success.
All right, so, Miss Mills. You can tell the moon is not bright enough, and this will be dangerous, but with your 5 and the fact that Tom is carrying your bag, you're okay. Mr. Chips, with a normal success, you are seeing enough of your way through the dark, kind of like a wooded path you guys are going. It is not very, the moon is not that bright, and it's kind of cloudy, but you know, you're managing to just follow the guy. Mr. Baskerville, you are tripping and stumbling a fair bit.
Oh, dear. Did you all see that?
You need a hand there, Baskerville.
No, I'm quite all right, thank you very much. Mr. Chips, I can do well enough on my own.
Make a...
Right.
Mr. Baskerville. Oh, you know what? Here, I'll give you this though, Mr. Baskerville. Give me a dexterity roll.
Right.
Because you're very good at these, so, you know.
A 12.
Yes, so you do have so despite you not seeing where you're going, you do notice that he keeps like hollering and falling, but he's so quick on his feet that he does manage to get down without any injury. God, I wish your dex had been lower. That could have been funny.
The only thing that isn't low.
There you go. Yeah. The rest of your, I mean, you're moderate for some other stuff.
Yeah.
So you had to pick between dex and appearance, and so all the points you would have had in, yeah.
Is Miss Mills next to Tom, like in the walking order?
Yeah, you're right behind him, probably. Yeah.
She'd like to ask him, Tom. As you know, we're here to investigate an apparition. Tell me, have you?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, I apologize. I was hoping you might be able to give us some insight, but I understand.
I don't know why anyone would come here to look at a thing like that.
You know, sometimes it behooves one to confide the dark things that they've seen in others. It helps share the burden.
Go ahead, and why don't you do a
I
charm?
have an okay charm, yeah.
You can note a charm. That's probably would be charm that you're doing here, yeah.
You're charming.
My persuade is ass, but my charm is okay.
Yeah, charm's okay. You have decent intimidate as well.
My charm is a 56, and I rolled a 58.
I'll tell you what. I was nearly gonna say this just to like let you have a thing. Rather than attempting to charm him, if you want to act like someone who's charming, I'll say that you could have been doing that instead of doing the charm.
Awesome. That would be a success.
His acting is an 85. So let's just let Jeremy click one box tonight. That's my whole thing.
Hey.
Although I think you got the. Oh no, you. That's right. You pushed your psychology. So yeah.
I pushed.
That
Yeah.
literally is your first success. Ooh.
So push does not count.
A push does not count, and a lek does not count.
Right.
Only if it's clean. So, very well. Yeah, the guy sort of, he's like, shaking his head, you know. I'll tell you this. I volunteer for guard duty at night. Don't love walking into this place. Thought the old man would have taken you down. He's always one excuse to go spend some time by the fire. There's something wrong with this place. You know about a Doolhound?
What?
About the what?
Occult rolls for all. Again,
Occult.
I know you all have a little purple in the occult.
Does this have to do with summoning rituals? No.
Well, you know what?
I feel like I would know about like critters and demons.
I don't think this is a thing anyone like
Okay.
summons, so I think we're gonna say no. But always try to do it.
Oh,
What's the
okay.
threshold for fumbling?
What is your score in the occult?
It's a 61.
Okay, then it's only on a 100.
Okay.
Actually pretty good. An 8.
I rolled a 96 and I pushed it and I got a 2.
Wow. All right. Well,
Okay,
that's
well, let's
good.
follow suit then.
Do I
rolled
wait? Do I click
97.
that if I succeed?
If you did you push or you just
No.
succeed? You
I just
click it if
succeed.
you succeeded.
All right. Well, I rolled 97, but let's push it.
Ooh boy. All right.
8.
Okay, there you go. Then you are all familiar with kind of like the Irish Doulahan or Doulahound or Doulahan.
The headless horseman.
It's like the proto-headless horseman. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, kind of like a known Irish hobgoblin seen in very, very feared in parts of Ireland. Although there are a lot of stories that like are kind of like actually at this time you wouldn't have been into this. It just seems like some Irish thing. A lot of people think that might have been one that was like created by like went back from America to Ireland and kind of like combined with other things and coalesced into a thing that it hadn't been. But the point being, you would all be familiar with, yes, the idea of kind of a ghostly coachman. Oftentimes the Dulan is not even necessarily like a rider. Sometimes it's like a coach driver who's holding his head, but always headless, always spectral, always creepy. So yeah, you're familiar with the concept. But he's sort of asking if you've heard of that, so you know.
Yes,
You can
we're
all-
very.
I've heard the tale too.
There's things like that are here. And I'll tell you this. The guy I know here, he saw something. He's not been right since. You lot really know about such things. This is what you do.
Yes.
More or less.
More of a fascination.
How do you,
Precisely what our company investigates.
how you sleep at night knowing these things are out there?
With a lot of whiskey.
Aye. Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, my friend, I live for the strange and abnormal.
Yeah,
It's my profession.
you English, there's something wrong with the English.
There's much wrong with us. That's why I'm here.
Aye. All right then, yeah, come on in. He sort of guides you in. And eventually you do come to, with Mr. Baskerville again, stumbling but staying on his feet. He eventually leads you sort of like to the wall of what you see is an enormous fort. The walls are like there's a section of the wall that's just like wood and daub, you know, like a you know Ticonderoga, sort of just like nothing but like logs and like mortar kind of between them. But then there's another section that is like the bigger section is bigger section is stone. From here, you cannot see the ruined area, but like there's plenty of lights on within the fort. So he kind of, starts leading you towards a side door. Now that you're out of the trees, the moonlight is plenty bright, and there's torches and things again, gas lanterns even. He walks up to one in a kind of this little door and kind of knocks on it 3 times. Scrawny guy kind of opens it, sees him, just sees the 3 of you, like gives it whatever, and he'll lead you inside and say, "The one who was talking to your boss is in here." So he leads you through a couple.
What's his name?
Whose name? Your boss? I don't know.
The one who was talking to our boss.
Oh. Well, that's Fang.
Fang.
Bang!
Fang.
Ah, well, isn't that delightful?
Yeah. Wait. What are you saying?
Well, I guess it's just sort of seems a
I'm
little
saying it's
weird
delightful.
that like you don't all have wolfy names, like a gang unity thing.
When you say wolf, he kind of gives you he's just turning on you with this
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed. Is that not? I thought that was much more common. Do you prefer full moon gang, full moon society?
He's like looking at you two like,
Was it not? You should be proud of what you are. Wear it on your sleeves.
fast talk. I guess. I don't know.
Neville just
Try
like
me.
moves a step or 2 away from Chips. Like,
Miss Mills has already tried so hard. She just wants to see where Mr. Chips gets himself.
What do we roll? Just tell us what it is, Pierce.
Oh, it's a success. It's just a matter of like
Are you gonna try to push it to do better or
Yeah.
spend something? Well, what did you roll?
47. It's a success.
All right, you gonna play? Gonna do something more? Or you gonna leave it there?
Look, I meant no offense.
He's like, what's wrong with him?
I don't know where to begin.
I just met him.
Tom kind of like he's like rubbing his hand like this, and like none of you even see it, but like suddenly he has this horrible looking knife just in his other hand, like Bowie knife, like huge. It's just like kind of in this like just like automatic to like whatever, and he's just rubbing his mustache. You can find Fang in there. I won't be surprised if only 2 of you are coming out. Have you taken my meaning? Have his conducts like this?
I'll make sure they behave themselves.
Yeah. Bloody hell. He kind of he walks scraping his knife along the wall because he's a cool guy. And with that, he's
Mr.
gestured to a room for you to go into. Yeah, go ahead, Neville.
Mr. Chips, given your belligerent demeanor, perhaps you might believe that talking to the intelligent do the drill.
I didn't think anything I've said was belligerent all night.
That is exactly my problem.
It's just a problem with the Irish.
Yes, well. Problems with the Irish are problems with the werewolves, as we've seen.
Which they
You
don't like to be
want-
called.
Yes.
Now we've learned that. Thank you.
Astute deduction. my
Well,
friend.
I don't know. At least that one doesn't like to be called. Nor
Well,
any
let's
of the
not
other
take our
names
chances
of the
with the rest of
actual
them, shall we?
organization.
Yes, well, let's
But
not
what are we
take
supposed
our...
to just call them?
Perhaps you shouldn't call them at
Sir?
all.
Your organization, anything but something that would cause them to bring a knife out and brandish it at you.
Better yet, don't speak.
Look, if you're gonna be in a gang, be in a gang. That's all I'm saying. Or pretend to be
You're
in a
saying
gang.
too much. Anyways, let us go meet Fang, shall we? I'm sure he'll be much more amenable than Thomas.
Yeah, his name's Fang.
Oof.
Probably get along with this guy.
I've never actually done this before for a character who's already built. Hey, Jeremy, make a luck roll. Oh shit, his luck is so bad. Jeremy has a 25.
Why would you do this to me? Okay.
Because you set it up too hard. He goes, I'm sure he'll be more amenable than that guy.
Sarcastically!
Oh, okay. Was it
He's
sarcastic?
British.
Yeah, it was heavily sarcastic.
Okay, then you don't have to roll a lot.
Yeah.
Dang.
I was like, oh, his name's Feng. He's got to be much nicer than Tom. Like,
No, it's probably more of my people.
Hopefully
damn, it would have been a 10 too.
Dang. Well, all right. Good to know. Well, you guys are at the door.
Miss Mills. Ladies first.
Is the door open, or do we need to knock?
You could certainly knock. The door is not open.
Okay. She will knock. It's rude to enter without permission, especially here.
After a few moments, you hear a couple things kind of from the inside, and the door sort of someone pulls the door open. Kind of like there's a figure sort of backlit by the light that's now shining bright into your faces from this little sort of like quarters or office room that's inside. The guy standing here goes, "Yeah."
Hello. We're from the New England Society of the Paranormal. Tom just brought us up from the road.
Oh.
We should be expected by Fang.
Yeah, that's me. Why? Where's Tom?
He brought us here and helped me with my bags. He was kind enough to do that, but
Okay.
he's left to go back down to your gate.
He just left you here unescorted?
Oh, yes, but he told us to see you.
Sorry about that. Please come on in.
Thank you.
He kind of backs up. The guy here, he's probably like 35. He's wearing a very nice dark suit. The tie is undone though. Looks like he's had a long day. But he's still kind of sort of sharply dressed. He kind of looks a little confused about this, but welcomes you all in. There's sort of this room has a couple of tables. There's like a desk on one side, some windows. This is a little higher up. You kind of went up a couple floors, so like there's like a view of the water. You can like hear like through some just fully open air windows. You can hear some water. There's a couple little like it's like a fire in a fireplace here. He's just in a couple lanterns and things, gas lamps and stuff. He's just motioning you to have a seat at one of the tables nearby. Kind of turns into a drink.
Yes, what do you have?
Let's see. I have some gin. I have some rum. If you like rum, I don't like rum, but we have some. And then there's a couple of whiskey. Not too much to mix with it, I'm afraid.
I'd love a nice whiskey, if you don't mind. Neville Baskerville, by the way. It's wonderful to meet you, my friend.
Stage magician, right?
Yes,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
heard of me.
I think I might have seen one of your shows before.
A fan? Well, I'm flattered.
Yeah. Miss?
I'll take a gin and tonic, if you have it.
Make a luck roll.
A roll for my booze. 20.
I do.
Great.
He pours you a gin and tonic and hands it to you, kind of nodding to you kindly.
Thank you.
Sir?
My name's Mr. William Chips. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. And if you're serving, I'll take whatever's your favorite.
Sure. He just pours 2 whiskeys and hands you one. And gestures for you all to sit and sort of has a seat himself. All right. Well, he really just left you in the hall there, huh?
A man of distemper.
A man of distemper, was he?
I
Not sure what happened.
Sorry
There
about
was a bit
that.
of There was a bit of a verbal clash, but nothing too serious.
Oh, it was a verbal clash. What did he say? He didn't say anything about about you, Miss, did he? Didn't say anything about the lady?
No, he was a gentleman to me. I believe the disagreement was with the men.
Mostly with Mr. Chips here. He is quite a disagreeable man in general. But you don't need to worry about that. We're here to talk about you.
He's
and your
disagreeable?
experiences. Well,
Mr. Baskerville,
He sits
as you
down
said, we've just met, so
What,
let's not jump to conclusions.
What line are you of work are you in, Mr. Chips? William?
Oh.
William Chips, you said?
William Chips, you can call me Will if that pleases you.
Hi, Martin Fang. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Fang. I travel around, gauge your games of chance.
You're a gambler.
Yes.
How in debt are you, Mr. Chips?
How in debt am I?
What's your credit rating?
A healthy 10.
10? Oh, you're very in debt.
I'm getting by. I'm above water.
He's disagreeable, he says to the other two. Is he going to cause trouble here? You're a gambler.
no. No trouble. He's just a bit of an idiot.
Wow. Some friends you got here, Mr. Chips.
Oh. As I understand, he's English, and that seems to be the excuse for everything.
Well, you do know how we are.
I don't have any problem with the English. If anything, I would have thought you were who Tom would have had an issue with. He doesn't like the English.
No, but I don't expect people to like the English, especially not in the Americas.
Tom says the only thing he hates more than the English, the Scottish, and the Welsh.
Well, it's a good thing none of us are those.
He doesn't like the French either, I forgot that.
Well, nobody likes the French.
Also, any Irish people from a county other than his, that's who he hates the most.
He seems a bit of an equal opportunity loather.
Yeah, I mean,
I can respect that.
sure. All right, well, thanks for making the trip. I'm sure Mr. Jansen shared with you what's going on here. I suspect that if you are just here for long enough tonight, you can make your way to seeing one of these apparitions. One way or another. They seem to happen a lot. Especially the more tense we get, the more we seem to see things.
The more intense, you said?
The more tension we have about it.
Ah,
the
yes.
more nervous we are. I'm not going to speak to you too much about our operations, but I'll phrase it like this. This is a beneficial space for us for a lot of reasons. We spent good money making it that way. But we're close to the point where we're going to abandon this place. I'm not a superstitious person, but I've never seen anything like what's going on here.
Well, I will tell you, Mr. Fing, we are primarily here to record the events and phenomena that we experience, but if that recording and understanding of these phenomena does lead to a solution, we will be sure to avail you of it.
So you kind of like pauses, like, so you're not here to fix the problem.
Well, hopefully we are. But first and foremost, we are here to understand the problem.
You're being smart. You're making no promises.
Right.
I appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess my question to you is: do you simply want to hear what I've seen, or would you rather try to see something yourself? Because there's no real set schedule for this, but there are some places we're seeing things more than other places.
I would personally prefer to hear your account and then compare it against my own if I do experience such.
You want to hear everything I've heard about, or just what I've seen?
Just
Let's
what
start
you've seen.
Let's start with what you've seen. Yes, Miss Mills is correct.
There's a room on the top. It used to be sort of a lookout room. It's a couple floors above us. It's one of the towers, the only one that's still standing after what happened. Men like to go up there, or at night. Just it's a good view. Kind of keep an eye on things. Not a bad place for a smoke or a drink. Maybe he looks at a chips card game even. But a week or so ago, after things were already a little on edge because we were seeing stuff, two of the men up there claimed that an old bearded man was suddenly in the room with them. And now the way they said it, they said he was in the room, like out of nowhere. There was just this other figure there. And he had this wild beard and these terrifying eyes. And his clothes were strange, and you couldn't really look at him, but they both saw him and they described the same thing. And they said that he suddenly saw them and he began chanting at them. And they both... it took a lot to get this information out of them the next morning when we found them up there. Now, most of us thought there was nothing to this. We figured they drank something strange, ate something strange. We, a couple days later, someone was up there having a smoke, and he said there was suddenly a man. We heard a gunshot. He shot the man. That's what he says, but the bullet went right through the guy. He came out screaming, "I don't understand." He said the man was speaking in this language. He just couldn't understand him. I went up the next night to see if I saw this guy. Nothing. Went up the night after that. And then... oh, he was there. He was there and he was mad. He reached for me. And the way they said it, I mean, I can't really even... He looked very old. Very old. Beard stretching down to his waist. His hand was just gnarled and his nails were long, and he was just... his eyes... He reached for me, and I am not a frightened, and I don't scare easy. I ran out of the room. I then made about 5 or 6 steps out and said, I was damn it, I need to, step up and see to this, and I walked back in and he was gone. Now there is no way. We've looked the room over just in case. There's no secret door. There's no passage. He certainly wasn't going out the window. And I was only gone 10, 15 seconds, and it was gone. And however he got into the room, I didn't see him either, but yeah, his eyes were, I mean, it was like the room was bending in towards what he was seeing. I can't really explain it any better than that. You felt, it almost hurt your ears, made you unbalanced. I can't explain it any more than that.
Was he chanting anything at you like he was the others?
He didn't say a word to me. He seemed very angry.
Your colleague, Thomas, he mentioned Doulahans,
What's that?
a headless horseman of sort. Is that an apparition that's been seen around here, or is he just spouting nonsense?
Well, in the stables, there were the horses. There aren't any horses here, but we did hear some neighing. I ran in there and I didn't see anything, but we saw 2 guys backing out, and they said there's horses in there, but there's something wrong with the horses. One of them said it had a stomach on the side of it, or a mouth, jaws, like opening on the side of it. I didn't see anything. I did hear it though. I heard whinnying and clomping hooves. I don't know about a horseman though.
fascinating.
You want to go up to the
Any
tower?
sort of-
No one's been up there since. What happened?
Well,
I would indeed like to go to the tower.
before we go, just a quick question, just so I can maybe suss out anything I might hear while I'm up there. Any sort of wildlife native to this area? Wolves, bears, anything that might make noise, a bump in the night, sort of thing.
Northern Massachusetts native wildlife.
Bears for sure.
Bears.
White-tailed deer, black bears, coyotes. They probably say coyote up there. I'm not sure if they say coyote. Bobcats, and probably not moose in that area. You also might occasionally see beavers and river otters, porcupines,
There you go.
cottontails.
You got a beaver problem. That's 100% what's going on here. All right. Well, good to know. What to listen out, what to discern might be just wildlife passing through. But yeah.
This
Yes,
wasn't
what's going on
wildlife
in town?
passing through.
Well, I don't doubt you. More just for my own knowledge tonight, what I hear.
It's not only
Good.
that, if the things, I won't go deep into it, but we've seen, I mean, I've even seen glancing, like you see someone moving, if you look twice, you're like, wait, that's not someone I know. There's been a woman, she's in kind of old-fashioned dress, bloody, like something happened to her, kind of
Burned?
dressed from, like how they used to dress a long time ago.
She looked burned by chance?
Burned? No. Cut up, I don't know. But you see her in the hall sometimes, but I've never gotten like a straight on look at her. There's also been voices sometimes you hear. I don't know. It's something's wrong here. I'm just telling you that. I mean, I don't know if you can feel it with your expertise, but the main room, I mean, you can go to the stables. I can tell you which hallway we've seen her in. There's one more the fellas have been talking about. I told you Mr. Jansen about it. There's this one, you were asking about a fire. I assume you're talking about what took this place out, a commission, the
Yes.
explosion. There has been, they call him the Burning Man, and they have seen him a few times. Suddenly the room is now, one of my guys swears that the room was suddenly full of thick smoke and he was coughing. Now, no one else detected any smoke. He sort of stumbled out and said, I can't breathe. The Burning Man, he's grabbing me. And he said, the room was up. But then we looked, it didn't smell anything on him. But other people have seen this Burning Man, but more from a distance. He's kind of been more on the wall there where that explosion happened. If that's what you're talking about, that he was connected to that, I don't know. But anyway.
Yes. Well. Thank you, Mr. Fang.
What do you
Well-
have to keep yourself safe from it? Do you have things, or you're just going to go there and... Did you bring charms, or I don't know how your, hoodoo works.
Would we have anything like that on us?
You might have stuff, because
For
you're a
demons?
believer and you're interested in a certain subset of stuff. You can have a couple amulets. Whether or not they'll actually work, that would probably be a luck roll. Which is
Are any of the phenomena he's talking about like familiar to me in my
now
studies?
that you've heard this, go ahead and do an occult roll parentheses summoning rituals.
Okay.
I love it.
Well, to answer his question, I was saying, fortune's always protected me.
That is a 40 under 58.
Hey, a success.
So
A
I
palpable
click
success.
that,
You
right?
can click the Christ out of that box.
Hell yeah.
Yes, and it's a 56.
A 58.
58.
It's a 40 under 58.
You could it's really fun to click that because the odds that you actually improve it is much better than, when you're getting your like 80s and stuff, it's like, I'm not improving. Yeah, okay, cool. He nods to you, Mr. Chips, and says, your fortune seems to, be, how's your fortune really working out with your bank account there, Mr. Chips?
Oh, there's more important stuff than money.
I suppose in a strange way I believe that as well, but probably not the way you're thinking. Mr. Baskerville.
Yes.
With a 40, these sound to you less like kind of like demonic things and more like just ghosts, probably, especially like the latter ones you've heard. That old guy upstairs, that doesn't sound like a demon. But if he's like warping reality, like that reminds you of some stuff. If they've said he's human, but he seems kind of different. So that some of his demons can take human forms. So that's definitely the area you're most interested in.
Yeah,
is where the old man was seen. But it doesn't sound like. You're not like, oh, sweet, that's the Marquise, so-and-so, that's this exact, yeah. You're not consulting your Ars Goetia or anything, shall we say.
like, oh shit, that's Paimon, like.
Exactly. So yeah. But if you're gonna go up there, he'll sort of lead you over as you, or did you have another question, Miss Mills?
Well, gentlemen, before we go up there, I am interested in that one since it is the apparition that seems to have spoke to people, though there does seem to be more than one. Do we think it wise to maybe take one each?
Yes, 1000%.
That does make sense mathematically.
Go to.
I would like to investigate the woman that he mentioned. I feel we may be able to connect had she had some previous trauma. I'd be happy to investigate her.
Miss Mills, I don't know if it's wise of us to split up when investigating phenomena the nature of which we are unaware.
I for one trust Miss Mills' expertise as the most experienced member of the society.
Well, I mean, if you agree, then I'll head up to the top and go to the tower.
Well, Mr. Fang,
Yes.
could you maybe provide an escort to each of us, since your men know the way around the facilities?
We will happily get you to these places, but no one will stay in them with you.
Understood. Could they come back and get us at a predetermined time in the morning?
Sure.
Okay. Miss Mills is okay with that.
So you're all gonna go sleep in 3 different haunted rooms. So, Mr. Chips, do you want to find Burning Man or you want to find horses?
Kind of both, but let's start with Burning Man.
Mr. Baskerville, please. It'll be all right. What's the worst that can happen?
Right. Everything's
Oh
going
my
great so
dear,
far.
what a terrible question to ask.
It has been asked on previous missions, and yet we are all still here.
Yes.
Well,
Let's hope
okay.
that continues.
Also, to evidence to Ms. Mills' theory here, it does seem like a lot of these times people approach while they're alone. Other than the 2 men who were together, but
Yeah, I think
Mr. Fang was alone. The man who encountered the Burning Man was alone.
the
Excellent point.
Burning Man was alone. I mean, the Burning Man's been seen by people together at other times too. So is the woman. But yes. But the point is, it's of everyone who I thought was going to initiate the impending TPK. I did not think it was going to be Antoinette Mills, and I love it. So with that, golly. Okay.
So
Yes.
Neville would like to actually follow one of the 2 of them,
Follow them.
unbeknownst to them.
Oh, unbeknownst. You want to sneak after. I like it.
Yes. He would like to both observe the phenomena and their reaction to the phenomena.
I see. All right. So, Mr. Fang says, "Well, I'll escort you to where you're all going. Miss Mills, I suppose yours is the closest, so I can take you there first, gentlemen, if you'll follow me this way." He leads you down a hallway, then kind of down like a few stairs. There are people around, but the kind of vibe is muted. And now that it's night, you at some point you pass by like an open, larger room where there's like lots of lights and everyone's kind of like sitting together, sort of sullen, but around, and just kind of there's. I think they may sort of, to what you guys were saying, there may be like, well, a ghost isn't going to appear to 25 of us, Because you're doing this and you're not going in there, though, Miss Mills will say that you're not getting a good look at people. They're not getting a good look at you. So if there is anyone who knows you, who is known to you, there are other women here, but they seem to be, mainly in that room, and they probably are, women kind of just, they're probably just,
They're there for a good time.
They're there for a good time, or they're there to, just kind of have some, get some cool imported goods while they're around their dangerous boyfriends, as such. The point is, but whether you might recognize a couple of them
real Anoris
is a little, yeah, basically. But like whether you'd recognize some of them is that may be probable, but we're not investigating it too much. He leads you to a hallway and says, "All right, so there's this hallway where she's seen this room here at the end," and he brings you in and he says, "There are some things that I'd appreciate you not." He kind of opens the door to it, and he seems a little nervous. This hallway's completely empty. He opens the door. There's like a little kind of like, like a storage roomy type thing. There is a window in it. He says she's also kind of, people have found her in here. We've seen her going in and out of this chamber. He gestures to some cases and stuff and says, "Don't open any of those. That's some, this is, I would have cleared stuff out if I knew you wanted to stay the night in this room. But don't mess with any of that."
We won't interfere with any of your operations.
All right, so you're sure you're staying here alone, ma'am?
Yes. What time is it right now?
It's past 10, I'm sure.
Yes, and if you would send someone to come and retrieve me to make my way out front again at first light.
Sure.
Oh, Miss Mills, just something that occurred to me. Seems like a lot of people are going to be abandoning the fort, but should we have sort of a phrase? Should any of us be in jeopardy? To call out that isn't simply a help.
It's an excellent idea. Yes. I think we should call out Manticore.
Perfectly acceptable. Makes sense.
Wonderful.
Boy, oh boy. That's fucking fun, is what that is. Oh man, I hope somebody does that real soon. Okay. He'll say, yeah, certainly, call out that, I guess, if you get worried.
Assume it'll be one of us coming to each other, say it sounds like your people will stay locked up.
We probably, I may come in that case, but, I would urge you all to that point. I understand why that's going to be your thing. It would be best for you not to be, this is still a sort of private organization here, so, don't do too much unnecessary wandering. But
We won't.
certainly if you hear each other calling out your code word, or I hear it, we can all come to where we've heard it. All right, Mr. Chips, here, let me take you down. Good night, Miss Mills. Do you want to? My recommendation, I suppose, to see the woman would be to maybe stay in this room, but leave this door looking into the hallway open.
Okay, she'll do that.
This way. Because then we can do the fun thing of, what's that at the end of the hallway? I feel like I just see something there. Yeah. He'll lead you, Mr. Chips. Conveniently, Baskerville will go last so you can see where everyone is. Mr. Chips, he'll lead you to the room in question next. He says, so here's where, here's the one that filled with smoke, according to the guy who was in here. He opens the door and says, this is another room people sometimes would play cards or just kind of carouse. As you can see, he opens the door and it is like like the roof is kind of tilting and the other wall is completely blown out, and it looks off on the ruined wall along here, where the blast, the inexplicable blast, did something.
Looks like this place was right well blown up.
Kind of miraculous it's still standing, but it works for us. He kind of gestures to some chairs. He says that I don't think there's anything of note in here, but nevertheless, don't nose around too much in case someone, wrote something on a napkin or something and it's laying around. Just, you're on the lookout. If you start to smell smoke and you see a man on fire, that's what
sounds like that's probably the Burning Man. Yeah.
Good night, Mr. Chips.
Yeah. I'll sit down at the table and pull a deck of cards out and
Play some solitaire. Love it. All right, Mr. Baskerville. He nods to you. And leads you over to the tower this way. Go ahead.
Actually, if you don't mind, Mr. Fang, I'd like to keep an eye on the Lady Mills for the night. I have some qualms about all of us being split up.
Oh, you want to stay in there with her?
Well, nearby, so that I'm around to help out if she is in distress. As an English gentleman, I have qualms about letting a lady into danger. You know how it is.
I'd rather you two go up to the room with the tower. That's really the one.
Well,
If you're gonna
we'll
be
work up to
anywhere.
that. That one seems the biggest issue.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, you know how to get back there. Where are you
Yes.
gonna be? I mean,
Well, there were other rooms in the hallway, yes?
yeah.
I'll stay in a different one. Perhaps across the hall.
Okay. The way I'm imagining it, Miss Mills is at the end of the hallway, so she's like seeing the whole hall. Like,
Oh.
yeah, she's kind of in a position where I didn't realize from the hallway in question. She's at the end of it with the door open, so she'll probably see you coming in there or going into one of those rooms.
But you're an illusionist.
But it's an illusion, Michael.
Perhaps I will find a room around the corner.
Sure. A room around the corner, or just being in the hallway around the corner is easily done. You know where it is. He'll kind of nod to you, and you can do that. I guess. Like, do you have? You also don't have stealth.
No.
Go ahead and do a stealth roll just to let's just see if you're kind of superhuman about this. So yeah, you Miss Mills, you certainly hear that somebody's like further down the hallway, but you don't see anyone, and it's not like a woman apparition. So yeah, Neville, there's a room you can get in. Basically, Neville, you are very close at hand if she starts screaming Manticore.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay. All right. Well. I mean, Mr. Jansen would like that this is your plan. Well, with that, Mr. Chips, you start playing solitaire.
Yeah.
Mr. Baskerville, you're just gonna. Are you gonna go in a room, or are you just sitting in the hallway, like right around the corner?
I'm sitting around the hallway. I'm probably like playing with cards or something.
Sure. You guys both do some cards. Miss Mills, you're staring down the hallway. As the night goes on, it gets quiet, heavy, and a little cold. All of you are, attempting to stay up. Mr. Chips, you're perhaps, because you're sort of like just in a room, not trying to, hide where you are. You're just playing cards. You're probably in the best position. So you're just playing some solitaire. Give me a luck roll. Let's see how your solitaire goes.
4.
Yeah. You're damn good at this game, especially when you cheat.
Feeding in solitude.
But a 4 means you're kind of keeping your wits about you. You're not sort of drifting off. Miss Mills, you are. What are you doing to stay awake?
Not much. Honestly, she's made a little area that's comfortable so that she can be positioned to look out the door.
Love it.
That's it.
Give me a Constitution roll. This is a coin flip for me.
Okay.
Because she is a 50.
I rolled a 51.
If you want to, you can spend a luck to just like.
Yes.
Okay.
I would.
Spend a
I would
luck.
like to spend a luck, yes.
And with a 51, that means you're sitting there and you're probably like about to nod off, but you like just like suddenly like fall onto like a little sharp thing on whatever you're like, and you kind of awaken. You don't fall asleep. Mr. Baskerville, what are you doing to stay awake? You said you're just playing with cards as well. Are you practicing card tricks?
I'm practicing tricks, yeah.
Sleight of hand.
That is a 77, Ogner 77.
Wow. On the number.
Yeah.
Side note, in many systems that use this, they kind of do the opposite of Call of Cthulhu in a way where what you want to do is roll as close to your number. Like you want to roll your exact number or as close to it.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of like the inversion where it's like just like a 1's not always the best. It's like every skill has a different target, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, you're keeping yourself awake. So as we get into midnight 1, pushing 2, you're all, you're tired, but none of you are in danger of falling asleep. So first I'm going to do this. I have to make a couple rolls.
Actually seems like an insane thing that I've suggested. I was just saying I light up a cigarette as I'm hanging out, but that seems...
There you go.
In the smoke room?
You're like, oh my god, I smell smoke.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for the Burning Man. Yeah. Seems like a fine thing. I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. A little smoke in the lungs.
I'll roll this. I love it. I love it. I like when I just make rolls.
We know.
Philip, we know. Miss Mills. You are sitting in a comfortable place and you're kind of, as it gets past 2, you're maybe beginning to grow a little tired again. Something catches your eye. Make a spot hidden roll.
That's a 52. I'm going to spend 2 luck.
Spend 2 luck. At first you see nothing. You kind of like look down the hallway and you like see nothing and you look away and then something causes you to just snap your eyes back. About 3/4 of the way down the hall, there's a woman. It's a good distance so you don't see her too clearly, but you can tell that she's wearing a large dress. Not something that's really in style now, something that's probably more from like the Revolutionary War era. At first you're like, it's like a white and red dress, and then you're like, no, it's just a white dress. What she's doing is she's slowly walking down the hallway with her eyes like looking into the rooms on the sides. Can't see her too clearly at this distance, but she's going very slowly. But you see her. And you really think that you looked down the hallway and didn't see her before that, so you think there's something... You think something is going on here. She continues on down the hall. You can see her more clearly now. You definitely have the sense that she's wearing a white dress with blood on it. She pauses. She very slowly turns and sees you in the open door. She stares at you for a moment. And then she suddenly starts to run. Straight at your door.
Oh.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I win again. New game.
That's great.
smash cut to William Chips like currently being immolated. Like,
Yeah.
That's this guy fell asleep while smoking. That really has nothing to do with the
boy,
burn.
my cigarette sure has filled up this room. Let me put it into this fire I don't remember lighting. Oh, this fire looks like a face.
Seemed to be doused in some sort of flammable liquid.
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
Yeah. What smells like
I'm sure
burning
that
ham?
will have
Oh,
no
me?
repercussions.
Yeah. Well, it might be very beneficial that Mr. Baskerville is where he is.
And I heard nothing, right? I've seen, heard nothing.
You haven't heard or seen a thing around the corner.
Okay.
Well, this is fun.
I suspect you will soon. And we'll find out what you see here or whose body you find next session.
Oh boy.
But that was some fun stuff. I can't believe they split up. That was so fun. Oh man, I was like, what a dream. I really wish he'd gone upstairs. Then we could have had a lot of visitations. Well, very good. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks for playing my player friends. This was delightful. We'll somehow, I think Dr. Day will probably show up next week, but perhaps just in time to perform your autopsies. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, great stuff. Thanks, chat, for being here. I see we've had a lot of fun in chat today. We had, I noticed, I gotta find the thing. So we had lots of people talking. Thanks for playing out there and playing in here, players who were talking. We had King Bojangles subscribed, which is appreciated. And
Thank you,
I know
King.
you've done that a few times. I've encountered you here on a few occasions, so we appreciate you checking out the show. We also had a raid, is that correct?
Yes, from Mr.
We did.
Sam Sheeran.
Well, thank you so much for raiding in. If any raiders are still here, we appreciate you checking us out and hope you enjoyed whatever the heck this was. We do have some fun stuff going on this channel. We have another game on Sundays called The Hotel Detective. That is super normal and chill. It's just, so far, it's just me and Kevin in a spreadsheet in a dream. Last session, Kevin decided to do some nested, to hit me with some nested flashbacks, which required me to just decide which of the limited number of filters built into Streamlabs were appropriate, and then we base what the thing on was from there. So, yep, definitely normal, no puns and word filters, as Sophia says. So yeah, join us for that on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Join us next week for the next exciting installment of Manticore, where we see what happens to Miss Mills, Mr. Chips, and Mr. Baskerville, and the werewolves. And then I'm going to mention one other crazy thing, which is that at the end of this very month, if you are in the Southern California area, we will be at WonderCon doing a panel, which is really a weird thing, quite frankly. But exciting, and it's called Makeshift Mechanics, and we will be creating and playing a game in an hour, except on Monday, or on Tuesday rather, I found out it wasn't an hour. It's only 50 minutes. So that'll just, with the turnover they do between panels. So that's fun. So might be, we're trying to decide whether or not it's better to run more of a game or see the making of more of a game, et cetera, et cetera. But we're getting it figured out. We actually did our first sort of like test run of that on Monday, in fact, which Pierce participated in. Jeremy,
Yes.
you were not present for that, but it
is canon though for that game we play on a Monday nights.
They made some choices that were pretty fun. So that was fun. Also, I will say, not to like brag about this side of it, but I thought the system we came up with was perfectly fine.
Good.
Worked pretty well.
Pretty good for the 30 minutes we spent on it.
It was basically I'll take some time to just say this boring stuff, except it's not boring because it's what our whole panel's based on. This game design stuff. Sophia says it had too much math. See, the thing is though, it was right for the players because they all like doing math.
We all
Sophia, for you, any math
it.
is too much math.
Also, I'm gonna just say, to be really pedantic here, all games have a lot of math. This had too much arithmetic. That's probably what you're saying. Yes, we are all nerds. That's true. So basically, the idea is in this game, it was a pool system. So they'd roll a pool of dice, like you've seen us do on various games in the channel. But the sort of equivalent of proficiency was that you'd get to re-roll, or you'd get to set any of your dice that were like 1 through 5. It was a D10, right? We were doing D10s.
We did D10.
It was D10. So basically, the idea is like the better you were at a thing, you'd be able to change more of those dice. If they were from 1 to 5, you could set them as a 6. So it was kind of like a reliable low thing where you're like, okay, so like I got a half thing. And then we also had what we called the extreme die, which allowed you to bet on any roll. It's kind of like pushing in this. I liked it because it was like meant to be a sort of like a dangerous thing where basically you'd roll a d4, and on a 4 you'd double your score, on a 1 you'd have your score, and on a 2 or 3 nothing happened. So it was a sort of real like, ooh, this could be bad or good or nothing.
Right.
So that was pretty fun. So the point is, but it worked well for a quick thing, and I'm very excited to see what kind of game we wind up playing in the big thing. So definitely if you're at WonderCon, we will be able to announce the date and time of all that very soon. So should be really fun. That's I don't know, that's I think all I've got. Anybody else have stuff they want to say, complain, concerns they want to share, regrets about suggesting we split the party, and then you're the one I rolled that the first ghost would see?
Philip, this was too scary, actually.
No regrets.
This was too scary? Are you saying that for real? Or like,
no.
Not... Or like sort of for real, because it was scarier than things often get because it got really eerie at the end.
Only on the fact that I legitimately think I was not saying anything offensive the entire time. Other than I don't like the Irish.
Wait, do you genuinely think you were not picking fights, Pierce? Do you genuinely think that?
The first time, yes. The second time, no.
Laid into it the second time.
Yeah, I feel like after you've leaned into it, you have no room to complain.
Yeah. The first time when I said I didn't like the Irish after he said he didn't like the English, that yes. Second time, no.
Second time was an honest mistake that you doubled down on. That's what it was.
Yes.
It's that he was offended when you said werewolves, and then it's like anyone knows, well, don't say one of the other names for them. But Pierce was like, oh, let me run through them all.
That is true. That is my way. But we haven't done this in a while. I'll Mamzuka something real quick.
Oh, sure.
Because I just watched something this week that I had always been curious about, and it is rad as hell. Battle Angel Alita is a fantastic movie.
Dude,
it's
that
so
movie
good.
kicks ass.
It's so good, and I really hope they come out with this sequel that is in development still with Cameron and Rodriguez.
Wow.
And Rosatello. It's so much fun.
What a goofy ass movie. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so fun. Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It's just robot assassins and also sports, and Christoph Waltz and Jennifer Connelly are an estranged couple.
Go wrong.
Well,
And it is the best movie because it gives Edward Norton a face, but never the right to say any words.
Wow. It does sound.
Thank God.
I remember that movie being sort of received as very crazy. So glad it
Yeah,
was
it's very
enjoyable crazy.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Well, very cool. Well, thank you all for playing, for watching. We will see you next time. Until then, I strongly recommend you don't sleep in a room at the end of a long haunted hallway with the door open. Good night.